Hello, my beautiful Coldplay fans out there. We have a really special video for you today, something that I haven't really done a video on before, but I'm just insanely excited about it, and I just really want to know your opinions on it. But we're going to be talking about something that has been seen by Coldplay's live performances, a little trend that's been going on, and this was kind of brought to my attention by a head full of mashups in the comments, so thank you for that. So in this video, I'm going to be going over two different examples where I saw this trend. They were in the Jimmy Kimmel 20th anniversary performance and the SNL performance. Again, both these performances happened pretty recently, so if you haven't seen these yet, of course you can watch those before watching this video, or you can take what I have to say and apply it to when you do eventually watch these videos. Now, I'm sure there are other performances similar to the ones that I've highlighted in this video, but I chose these two because I thought they were really great examples. And hey, if you haven't done so yet, I would encourage you to please subscribe to the channel. I do lots of Coldplay content just like this, and I'm sure you won't regret it. All right, so now let's dive into these performances, and we're going to start off with that Jimmy Kimmel performance. So here's a little bit of a background of that day. So Coldplay was the first band that had performed on that first show 20 years ago. Again, this is a 20-year anniversary. So Coldplay returned and kind of celebrated that 20th anniversary by playing clocks. Now, this choice to play clocks was very intentional because they played that song on that first performance 20 years ago. So if anything, it just shows the longevity of these songs and a band like Coldplay, who has been popular for literally decades. And it's just really cool to kind of reflect on that and show how Coldplay's music just stood the test of time. And it was just amazing to see that in this performance, because not only was it cool to see them play that song, but it was a great performance of that song. So I just absolutely loved the choice of them using clocks in this and thought it was just perfect. So the performance itself included a full choir. It included a string orchestra, amazing transitions to like a bunch of different stages. It had a TV that played their first performance that happened 20 years ago. And perhaps the coolest part of this whole thing was they had this music box which introduced the song. So to say the least, it was just super theatrical, and it was very moving and emotional. And to me, it was honestly the best TV performance I've ever seen Coldplay perform. And then to follow things up, just about a week later, we got another performance at SNL. And this time they did perform a few times, but the one that I'm going to focus on is when they played Human Heart and Fix You. So just a little background on this performance. This was their 7th time appearing on SNL, and just throughout the night, it was really cool to see that Coldplay brought this nature that was very calming and very grounded to this otherwise funny and comedic show. And there were some even just really emotional aspects to this performance, one being that Coldplay dedicated the song Fix You to Pedro Pascal's mom, who had passed. And just from a performance standpoint, I mean, this was just another incredible performance. Compared to the Jimmy Kimmel performance, this one definitely was more stationary. It didn't have all those different stages, but the transitions in the music were really cool as they transitioned from Human Heart to Fix You. And the biggest aspect of this was absolutely the choir. The way that they used this choir was just very transformative. It took a song that was great and made it something completely different, but just as great. Now, of course, Human Heart starts with the choir, and as somebody watching this for the first time, not knowing that Fix You is going to be next, it was really incredible to see that transition from that song to Fix You. But I think the coolest aspect of this entire night was the way that they ended Fix You. They used these really strong block chords in the choir, and it was just so moving and so emotional. And as I kind of alluded to before, the whole attitude of this performance was very emotionally connected. It was deep, and it wasn't just some guys playing music. It was a very heartfelt performance. All right, so that kind of just wraps up what those performances were about. So now let's talk about what this trend is. Now, I really see this playing out in 3 different aspects. There's the arrangement aspect, the intentionality, and the nostalgia. So with the arrangement, we had a choir, we had a string orchestra, we had a music box. There were so many different aspects, so many unique aspects to these performances that we otherwise really haven't seen before. So it's clear that Coldplay is just being super creative with these arrangements. And now their second aspect, intentionality. I think their use of props, like with the TV or the music box, their transitions, their song choices, even the way that they're arranging their songs is just so well thought out. So yes, they're being super intentional, making these appearances true performances and not just playing music. And of course, the last thing being nostalgia, using songs that are from older albums that are absolutely timeless, like Clocks or Fix You. And just the fact that this was the 20th anniversary for Jimmy Kimmel and they played that same exact song exactly 20 years ago was awesome. And even on SNL, I think the first time that performed was in 2001. So seeing the longevity of Coldplay and really pulling at that nostalgia aspect was incredible. And this is something that we can talk about more in future videos, but I think that this is something that we could see more of, especially when they have an album called Coldplay coming out in the next few years. To me, it just makes a lot of sense that they would be kind of pulling at this aspect and kind of reflecting on their years just being the world's best band. So those are my thoughts on what the trend is. And now I kind of just wanted to talk about why exactly they're doing this. I think that it's a mix of a few different things. And I think that they realize that there are a lot of people out there who have been fans for a long time now and are just really showing their appreciation for those fans. Now, with the release of Music of the Spheres, that wasn't something that was really playing to these really old time fans because Coldplay's style has changed so many times. I mean, other than Coloratura, there wasn't a lot from the album that people kind of drew from those older Coldplay eras. But clearly seeing something like this, like Fix You, and that awesome performance of Clocks really draws in that older fan base. But contrary to that, I mean, it also works really well for the new fans who may not have been listening to these songs on repeat for decades now. So I just think that it's really smart of them knowing that they can use these older songs to really appeal to those older fans, but then also kind of bring those songs to a new light to the newer fans. And just one last thing about why I think that they're having these kinds of performances. I think that Coldplay is in the process of wrapping up these last 3 albums and having a lot of time to reflect on who they've been. And as a result, kind of just getting really sentimental. So I can see them, in discussion of, oh, what song are we going to play for this? Be like, you know what? Let's pull that song back from 15 years ago, from 20 years ago, and just make it new, make it exciting, something that these older fans will love, but also anyone would enjoy. And now, just to wrap things up, obviously, I am very passionate about these performances and absolutely love them, but I know that not everyone feels the same way. So if you have any opinions on them, if you love them too, you can leave a comment below letting me know about what you liked about them or what you didn't like about them. Or hey, even if you think that there's a performance that is 100 times better than this, please leave a comment below. And while you're down there leaving a comment, if you would be so kind to leave a like on this video and even subscribe, because I have a ton of Coldplay content in the works and Coldplay is releasing new music very soon, possibly. So I'm definitely going to be making videos about that too. But thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Ba ba da ba da ba da ba ba.